place where the children have no parents or single parent, and we have a home for mentally challenged women. So we are like a small village. We are about 2,000 people living in a campus of about 1,000 acre. And the founder, the lady Anuben, wanted that the institution not only does social work but also lives in harmony with nature. And because it is in village, she was very clear from the day one that we should live in harmony with nature. So wherever possible, it wanted to use solar energy. So you can see there are different type of solar systems that Munisa Ashram worked, and I will walk you through some technologies. So the energy needs of Muniseva Ashram are about 1.5 megawatt of power every hour, because we are on a cancer hospital, so we have a very heavy power consumer. So we don't only require power for lighting and running computers and small pumps, but also because we have medical devices, operation theaters, radiation equipments, 10 operation theaters, and so also air conditioning. So we have about 600 tons of air conditioning. Now it's going to be 800. We require a lot of hot water for all our staff and all the people who are living there. We also have staff quarters where about 750 people live in our campus. We cook about 2,000 meals every day. So, and then we have laundry for the hospital, because as you can imagine, when you have a hospital, you have a lot of laundry to wash. And the most expensive part of our ashram is air conditioning, because we have a cancer hospital, so it has to be air conditioned. So we have about 800 tons of air conditioning, which is about 3,000 kilowatt hour of air conditioning don't require every hour. And we also require a lot of water. We consume about 1.3 million of liters of water every day. So, and these are many first things which we have done at Muniseva Ashram. We have in India installed India's first 100-ton air conditioning plant. We were the first in India to do a bio-CNG plant. We have 31,000 liters of hot water. We have 100 kilowatt of solar PV. We are already having solar steam cooking system. We have biomass gasifier. We have a dryer where we dry agriculture products about 1,000 kilogram per hour, and we are working on solar crematorium. So these are the things what we have, and we'll just share with you how it all started. So in a way, I'm very fortunate that my journey in solar energy and the journey of Muniseva Ashram goes hand in hand. So basically, I was invited or requested by government to go to Muniseva Ashram and help them reduce their energy need. And that is how I got to know them. So initially, we started offering them parabolic solar cooker, where you can reflect the light at one point, have a high temperature. And now you can see the lady is cooking. She's able to fry. She's able to make chapati. This is a cooker called SK14, developed by a German developer, Dr. Dieter Seifert, whom SolarZentrum people, and I'm sure many of you may know. He also has been there many times. And he was my colleague in Wakashemi, and he gave me the technology. And I brought the technology to India and then started manufacturing it. And then we started offering it to people who needed it. And we realized that we need to promote solar cooking, because 50% of the world population cooks on open fire. Also in India, more than 50% people cook with biomass, and 3.2 million women and children die every year because of smoke in the kitchen. So we started cooking, because when you want to cook for hundreds of people, you require a different technology, because it's not possible to go outside in the sun. And the challenge was, can we bring a technology where the sun comes in the kitchen and where you can cook in the comfort of the kitchen? And Dr. Seifert connected us with another German scientist, Mr. Wolfgang Scheffler. And Mr. Scheffler had developed a technology of a parabolic dish which had a stationary focus. And because of having a stationary focus, it was possible to cook in the comfort of the kitchen. Dr. Seifert introduced me to him, and Mr. Scheffler was again all very nice and kind to help us with the technology transfer. He even came to India. He used to come into India every year, and we used to develop this application and the product, manufacture and supply solutions. And because of that, here you can see we have started operating the system for community cooking. And with one dish, you can cook for 100 people. So you see a Scheffler dish on which the sunlight is reflected, and the sunlight is reflected onto a secondary reflector, which deflects the light onto the cooking vessel. The sunlight comes through the small opening in the north-facing wall, into the kitchen, and now this lady can cook in the corner of the kitchen. And here, with one dish, we can cook for 50 people. So this is a system which was installed by Mr. Wolfgang Schäffler himself in 1992, even before I got into solar at Muniseva Ashram, and this was not working. I was requested to go and repair it, and that's how I got to know Muniseva Ashram, and then started offering them solutions. So for me, it was easy. I got to know Muniseva Ashram through Wolfgang Schäffler, and it has become my life now. I live now and work for Muniseva Ashram. I'm a board member, and I'm in charge of solar and sustainability. So this was the first system installed in India, and also at Muniseva Ashram again, where the light is coming in the kitchen, and with one dish they used to cook for 100 people. Now at present we have two dishes, and we cook for 200 students of primary school, 250 students, where directly the sunlight cooks the solar energy. Then the ashram said they would like to do air conditioning with solar energy, and that was a big challenge for me, because I knew, or I had a technology where we could produce heat with the solar, but we could not know, or we did not know how we could convert the heat into cooling. And again, Muniseva Ashram came to my rescue. Muniseva Ashram already had a system for air conditioning called vapor absorption chiller, and they were having a wood-fired boiler in which they were sending the steam coming from the wood-fired boiler and doing cooling. So for me, my job was very simple. I changed the boiler. I kept the boiler aside and installed 100 Scheffler dishes. And for the first time in India, we installed a system of 100-ton air conditioning, where with 100 dish we do 100-ton air conditioning. And the 160-bed hospital was running, or has been running, with solar air conditioning since 2004. And we produce about 400 kilograms of steam at 8 bar pressure, with which we can run this double effect evaporator. We have also installed a solar cooking system at Muniseva Ashram for the residential school. So here you see on the left the cooking vessel, in which the cooking is happening with oil, which is heated with the solar concentrator. The solar system concentrator system is on the terrace, and here you can see two Scheffler dishes reflecting light at one point, and there are 5 pairs, and with this 5 pair we are able to cook for 500 children. Where we heat the oil, the hot oil comes and circulates outside the cooking vessel and passes on the heat into the cooking good inside. And because of that, they're able to fry, they're able to make chapatis, they're able to cook at night because the energy can be stored. And then Muniseva Ashram was offered another system where it is a dual axis tracker, where with one dish you can do what this 10 dishes was doing. And so we have also installed that. It's a technology called dual axis parabolic reflector, and I will talk more about it. So here again you see the system, the first system which was installed now at the school, where there are 2 dishes reflecting light into the wall in the kitchen, and the food is being served for 250 students. So 200 to 250 students, because when we say students, it's not just the students, but also the staff and the visitors who eat there. At Muniseva Ashram, we also do organic farming. We have about 1,000 acre of organic farm. And when you do farming, we realize that a farmer can never make money because he's at the mercy of middlemen. So we have installed a solar dryer, where we produce agriculture products, and whichever all the products which we cannot sell immediately, we actually dehydrate it. So we call it solar drying, and the dehydration takes place with a vacuum tube collectors you see on the roof of the shed, and then the hot water is coming into these pipes, and then it goes into the chamber, and then we can run the dryer 24/7 by storing the hot water into this tank. So this is a drying which is drying about 1,000 kilogram of agriculture product per day. We have also started working on solar crematorium. For many, solar crematorium are something which is new, because in India, unlike in the West, when we die, we put the dead bodies into the flame or wood and then burn them. I'm sure a lot of people must have seen the images of thousands of people being burned on the ghats of the rivers after Corona. So the challenge was, how do we cremate so much people, because every body requires about 200 to 300 kilograms of wood. So this is the world's first solar crematorium, which is being installed at Muniseva Ashram, where we have a 50 square meter Scheffler dish, which reflects the light through the small opening onto this chamber, which is insulated. And then in that you put the dead body. The temperature in the focus is about 1000 degrees centigrade and the body starts burning. So this is the world's first solar crematorium. We are trying to make it operational by making it hybrid along with biogas. So Muniswa Ashram started with domestic cooking, went into community cooking, then promoted itself to institutional cooking, to cook for 2000 meals, up to 2000 meals, and then also into solar air conditioning and solar crematorium. So the advantage of working for the NGO was that we are on the ground, we keep on getting the problems and we solve the problems and we evolve. So the feedback is very important if you want to do any social work for the community, because you need to get the problems. And as I said, in our ashram, we are like a small village. We are more than 2,000 people living in the ashram. So 31,000 liters of hot water every day is produced with solar flat plate collector and also with heat pump. So on the right, you see this is a heat pump where we extract the energy from the ambient temperature, and it has a good COP. And flat plate collector is a very proven technology. So we are not only into concentrated technology, we are into every technology. We have got a vacuum tube collector, we have got heat pump, we have got flat plate collectors. And then we are also into biogas. So this was a very unique project, which was again developed by us or my company. Or I had another company called MSA Bioenergy, in which we were the first in India to convert biogas into bio-CNG. Biogas, as you may be knowing, is a technology where we do anaerobic digestion of organic waste, which can compost. And when you do not let that come in touch with oxygen, the bacteria produce gas, which is called biogas, which is methane. And then normally the methane would be used for cooking. But the challenge was that very often the biogas would be in the field, but you require the energy far away from the field where the plant is. So while I was in Germany, I had seen a vehicle running on biogas where they were using biogas into compressed cylinder and running the car with it. So I took that idea, went to India, and then we did India's first biogas plant, where we started purifying the biogas, removing the CO2 in the biogas and enriching it to 90 to 94%, which is just like the natural gas, and then compress it at 200 bar, and then fill it up into a rack in cylinders. So there are 20 cylinders you see on the truck. And then with that, we bring it to our ashram to cook. We also started running one of our truck with bio-CNG. So again, it was a very unique project where we convert waste into wealth. And we became so famous that President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, heard about us. And Dr. Abdul Kalam always spoke of his vision called Pura, which is providing urban amenities in rural area. So he came and convinced himself that yes, there is already a village running totally on renewable energy and doing social work, healthcare, education. And he said, you are a perfect example of fulfilling my dream. But the challenge, he says that Muniswa Ashram, being a good NGO and having educated people, gets a lot of money from outside to support the good work. But in India, we have 650,000 villages. And he said he would like each and every village to become like Muniswa Ashram. So the challenge was not just technology, but challenge was also business model by which we can take this technology village. So here you see our President, Dr. Abdul Kalam, with me. And here our Chairman, Dr. Vikram Patel. Dr. Vikram Patel is also a very good friend of Brigitte and Dietmar and Misha. He's also been to SolarZentrum. So SolarZentrum is becoming a place which is creating a network all over the world and disseminated technology, and we are very proud to be part of it. So again, you see we have another biogas plant, which is actually a KVIC plant, in which we directly use the gas without purifying it into our ashram. So what are the future plans of Muniswa Ashram? Muniswa Ashram wants to replace the 100-ton air conditioning which it has with a new technology called big dish concentrator, SG4 big dish, in which we can convert. That 100 big dish will be replaced with one dish, and because of that we will be able to save space. We have a higher efficiency, and this is the new technology which is going to become the game changer. And for that, we have tied up the dish in our ashram. It's a 520 square meter dish. And this was developed by an Australian university called Australian National University. And it is a dual axis system where the dish moves in both the axes and has a very precise curvature of the mirror. And because of that, the efficiency is so high that we can do with one dish of 520 square meter, for which we had required 100 shutter dishes of 12.5 square meters. So nearly
Deepak, we had some
area in reflector. We are also working on. Sorry, I cannot hear you. Can you ask your question again? Hello?
We had some interruptions, some technical problems. Maybe
yes.
If you turn off your video, the quality of your sound could be better.
Okay, let me see how I do that. Okay, how do I stop my video? Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. Please continue. Yeah.
Fine. So we are also working on thermal storage, because the biggest challenge of solar energy is how do you provide power 24/7? And world over, the biggest challenge is that during the day you get enough power. So the whole world is working on storage, and solar thermal storage is very competitive to battery storage. The cost of storage is nearly 1/3 than that of electrical batteries. So we are working on molten salt, we are working on steam accumulator, we are working on concrete solar thermal storage systems. And we have a plan where our dream is to have this multiple big dishes and also becoming a power plant. So that's why the name of the company is Sunrise CSP. CSP means concentrating solar power. And it can not only be used for producing electricity, it can be used in agriculture, it can be used in waste processing, it can be used for water purification, desalination. It can be used for urban and village solutions like district cooling, air conditioning, sterilization, cooking, cremation. It can be also used for making ammonia, hydrogen, methanol, and syngas. And of course, it can be used in energy. So unlike photovoltaic technology, which is a great technology, but photovoltaic has the advantage that it is very simple to install, very easy to scale up, but it only has can produce electricity, and it has a very poor efficiency. It has an efficiency of about 20%. Whereas in solar concentrator, you can have a technology of anything from 55 to 94%, depending on your application. So this is what is happening at our ashram, Muniswa Ashram. We are installing the first dish to produce low pressure steam, to do heating, to do space cooling, and then to do steam cooking. And in next phase, we will add more big dishes and produce high pressure steam, run the turbine, produce electricity, and the steam coming out after the turbine, because it's a back pressure turbine, so you can extract the low pressure steam, and that will be used for heating, cooling, and cooking. And because of this cogeneration or tri-generation, we can get a very high efficiency. Then nearly 94% of the sunlight can be used. Whereas in photovoltaic, it is just 20%. It has been already built and tested in Australia, ANU. It can be integrated with the existing systems. It can be hybridized. It can be used for grid stabilization. So during the time when the solar PV and wind energy does not give power, the solar CSP can produce power to stabilize the grid. It can be stored and used at night. And the biggest advantage is it will be made in India. Solar photovoltaic technology, as you all know, 90% of the panels, PV panels, are coming from China. And unfortunately, the relations between India and China are not so good. So India is talking of made in India, and this whole technology has been transferred to India and is going to be made in India, not only in India, but also at site. So we have something what is called FIF, factory in the field, where the technology is going to be made in India. Last two slides. Again, one lesson as a Muniswa Ashram, what we have learned is, it's not about technology. It is about business model. How can you bring the technology to the last mile, to the poor who need it but cannot afford it? So this is a project which we had done, which is the first smoke-free village in the world, where the whole village cooks on solar cooker. And how did we do that? We did not sell the solar cooker for cooking, but we supplied them the solar cooker on microfinance, and we taught them how to make items on it. And now they don't have to buy the cooker. Actually, they get the solar cooker on loan, and they pay an installment out of the saving or the earning they make. And that's why our slogan is, you pay from your profit, not from your pocket. because poor people who need the technology cannot afford it. So it's very important that they have a business model. And one very important lesson I learned during this project was I got a phone call saying that a lady was misusing the solar cooker. I rushed there and I was very happy to see and pleasantly surprised to see the lady was not misusing the solar cooker. She was using the solar cooker in a different way. She was using the solar cooker not for cooking but ironing. So what she was doing is that the others she was using, and she makes about 200 rupees per day, and that is actually more than she would have made by selling food. So that made us realize intelligent, they are survivors, and that's why we are convinced that with a Solar Centrum and with people like you all working together, we can come together and create solutions for the world. Normally, when you go to a village, you see a woman carrying wood or water, but now you see the solar cookers are being transported to villages. They are doing it themselves. They operate it by creating self-help groups and then making money out of it. So now, whenever people think of dish, they think of a dish antenna, but this is a solar cooker which is also works like this antenna, but it gives you heat, it gives you life, it gives you hope, it gives you possibility to come out of poverty. We were invited by Bill Clinton and awarded for our work, but our biggest award was when Dr. Abdul Kalam, our president of India, came and told us that it's possible for us to help millions of people in India and world over with this combination of technologies, hybrid technologies. And we are very proud to be a part of Solar Centrum. We have an MOU with them, and we would like to work with you all globally to bring the technology from here to other countries and also other technologies, other innovations, what you all have to bring to India. The world has become a village. We need to work together, and Solar Centrum is a perfect partner to bring all the people on the platform. So thank you, Brigitte. Thank you, Dietmar. Thank you, Michael, Paul, and all our dear friends. We wish all the conference participants all the best. I couldn't come here. Thank you. All the best. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you.